Ahoy folks, and welcome back to Broadside Gaming with me, Zug. So, Nightmares and Visions has come out, which means the Ogryn has had a lovely tree update. And this is the heavy hitter build, or not really the heavy hitter build anymore, just the hitter build, because it's not all about those heavy hits anymore. So let's jump in and see what we've done. We'll have a look at the weapons and gear first, then we'll jump into the talent tree. So, I'm still using the Delver's Pickaxe, because it's my favourite melee weapon the Ogryn has. And we're using the Solus version, the Mark II. For the perks, we're going with Carapace and Flak. Blessings-wise, we're going with Slaughterer and Thrust. This thing works really well. I really love what they've done to the pure melee tree. Out of all three that I've done, this is my favourite. We're going with the Grenade Gauntlet. They have also improved this. They've increased the damage it does in melee swings and also kind of made it a bit more usable. Basically, if you've played the Ogryn about a year ago, where the Grenade Gauntlet was an absolute beast, it's kind of like that, but not quite. But it is good again. It's not just a big pile of crap. So, hooray for that, I guess. And with that, we're going with damage to Maniacs and Flak, and blessings-wise, I've just left pinpoint targeting and explosive offense on it. Works quite well. As I said, these are day one builds. They will need some tweaking at some point. So not everything is absolutely meta 100% great. It just works really well, and this is something for you guys to play with and do some testing on. Next up, we've got the Curos. We've got two toughness Curos that are twinned with 5% toughness, 20% resistance to snipers, and 20% damage resistance to gunners. And then we've got the max health one, which 5% toughness, stamina regeneration, and damage resistance to gunners. Stamina is much more valuable now in the tree, so if you want to, you can get rid of the damage resistance to snipers for more stamina regeneration. It's up to you, do what you want. Not your mum, not going to put little notes in your lunchbox. I'm just here to try and get something working. So that is the gear. Let's jump into the talents. So it starts off pretty bog standard. We're taking Heavyweight, which gives us plus 30% damage against Borgs, Crushers, Plague Ogryns and Reapers, and also receiving plus 30% damage reduction against the same. So this is pretty standard. Smash 'em, replenish 5% toughness after hitting a single enemy with a melee attack. Increase to 15% toughness if it is a heavy attack. As you can see, they have differentiated here between light attacks and heavy attacks. The Best Defense, replenish 5% toughness after hitting multiple enemies with a single melee attack. This is increased to 15% on a heavy melee attack. Again, they have changed it slightly, and for the better, I think. We're also using the Frag Bomb, just because I like the Frag Bomb. Use the other one if you prefer. Into a toughness damage reduction, and then we're taking Payback Time, plus 15% damage for 5 seconds after a successful dodge or being hit by an attack. So, as you can see, they have added a slight difference to this as well. So it is dodge or being hit by a melee attack, which is rewarding dodging, basically. Into Soften Them Up, enemies damaged by your melee attacks take 15% more damage for 5 seconds. Focused Fighter, plus 4% damage resistance from melee attacks on a successful melee attack. Stacks 5 times. Stacks are removed upon taking damage from a melee attack. Again, this is just rewarding your ability to block and dodge. And then we've got Pumped Up, plus 15% damage resistance while above 75% stamina. As I said, they are adding more rewards in these trees for being able to manage your stamina. Then it's your toughness damage reduction, and then we're grabbing Indomitable. Charge forward with great force, knocking back enemies and staggering them. Gain plus 25% attack speed and 25% movement speed for 5 seconds. Charge is stopped on collision with a monstrosity. You can also stop it yourself by hitting the back button. Stomping Boots, replenish 10% toughness per enemy hit with Indomitable, and then we're taking Pulverize. Apply 5 stacks of bleed on enemies hit by Indomitable. And then into a Rending Boost for plus 5% Rending. They've snuck that in here because I never rated that talent very well on the Ogryn, but they're making us take it to get into this triangle of power. And then we're taking Beat Them Back, plus 15% melee damage on successful heavy melee attack. Crunch, which they've buffed massively, not in damage, but in the speed which it stacks, which I shall show you momentarily. Up to 15% damage bonus and 30% impact bonus to your charged melee attack based on its charge time. So I know they've reduced it down from 40% damage, which was wild. It was a big boost. but it's now 15% damage, but it stacks a lot goddamn quicker. So it is way more usable. Most people didn't use Crunch because of how long it took to stack. Now it's almost an auto pick, so you are actually benefiting slightly more because you're actually taking it this time instead of just not bothering. As you can see, if you check down the bottom, it stacks up as fast as Thrust. As you can see, it's wildly powerful. I thought that it was going to be a huge nerf. Basically, oh my god, we're losing 40% damage on Crunch, but as nobody took it, you're not really losing anything. You know, it's the old joke about dog's milk lasts longer than any other type of milk because no bugger will drink it. It's a very, very old joke. Sorry. Anyway, taking Strike True, plus 10% melee weak spot strength, always good. Into Batter, inflict plus 2 stacks of bleed on melee hit and 4 on heavy melee hit. Bonebreaker's Aura, plus 10% melee attack damage for unit allies in Coherency. Into melee damage boost, and we're taking Frenzied Blows, plus 2.5% melee attack speed on chained hit for 5 seconds, stacking 5 times. Then we're going to jump over here into the middle. We're going to be taking the toughness boost into Bruiser, 100% ability cooldown reduction for 3 seconds after you or an ally in Coherency kill an elite enemy. Get stuck in. On activating your combat ability, you and your allies in Coherency gain plus 20% movement speed and are also immune to stuns and suppression. And No Hurting Friends, plus 2.5% strength on damage taken by you or allies in Coherency. 5 max stacks lasts 10 seconds, plus 15% toughness damage reduction on max stacks. Now, if you want to, you can dump this ability out for something else. I just think it's a nice talent. And then we're taking Delight and Destruction, plus 8% damage resistance per bleeding enemy in melee range, stacks 4 times. Into Heavy Hitter, plus 3% melee damage for 7.5 seconds on melee attack hit, stacking 8 times, gain 2 stacks on heavy attack hit. Then into Just Getting Started, while Heavy Hitter is at 8 stacks, gain 10% attack speed. And then Great Cleaver. Heavy Hitter also grants 15% cleave for each attack, which is a monstrous bonus for us, especially if we're using the pickaxes, because everyone loves a bit of cleave. And to be honest, I did think it was going to be a lot worse than it is. You actually have quite a bit more damage and sustainability within the tree. Out of all 3 builds, I think this is the most polished of the 3 for a day 1 build. I mean, there are some changes. Obviously, we can dump this stuff out here if you want to take more damage in this tree. This, you're using it, losing a little bit of utility to gain more damage, which, is a fair option. But as I said, day 1 build, not entirely perfect. This is just to get you all started and something I'm working on. If you want to see the actual thought process behind this, please do check out today's live stream, which ended about half an hour ago. So, it should be in the live list. And if you found this video helpful or you enjoyed it, please do like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It really does help us out. And I shall see you all later for the live stream where Ugg and I will be tackling the new Mortis Trials. So until then, take it easy, and I'll see you later.